Hello, everybody. Welcome to another week of Marketing 101 for chiropractors. This week, we're talking about grabbing straws. What does that mean? Sometimes we get stuck. And when we get stuck, we start searching. And when we start searching, we start grabbing at things that we may think are the right thing, or we start searching the unknown, or we start getting into the wrong groups, or we start, what I'm talking about. We start getting off track. And when we get off track, we end up finding sticks and straws and we start grabbing them, thinking that that might be the next big thing, that might be the next thing that you need to do, that might be the next shiny object you need to add. And it ends up creating a lot of issues within your business because it's distracting. It's distracting to go for a walk or to go for a hike and end up stopping every 2 minutes grabbing sticks. It pulls you off track. It slows down the hike. It gets in the way of the purpose of why you got out there to move the body and get some fresh air. So grabbing these sticks once in a while could be the right thing, but when you're purposed and you are searching for the right thing in your practice that comes next, usually it works out well because the mindset's there, the intent is there to create something new because of a purpose or a passion. So when we actively search for what we should do next, it's because we've had an idea and we're really not searching. We're trying to figure out how to do it properly. That's great. That's one thing you should definitely do. But it's when we think about what should we add next. And it typically comes from a place of fear. It comes from a place of being stagnant, and it comes from a place of fear that it could be money. It could be a money issue where maybe you're slowing down in practice a little bit, and that's causing a little bit of anxiety for you. And now you're like, well, I got to do something. And by doing something, you pick up the sticks and the straws. And that's the issues that we run into because 9 times out of 10, you're going to pick up the wrong stick and you're going to run with it. And that's an issue. If any of you have dogs, I've always had labs. They will pick up the largest stick that they can find. Usually a mistake because they end up hurting themselves or doing something silly with it or hurting someone else. They'll take out your knees when they run by you with it, or they're trying to run between two trees and they end up doing a flip or almost hurting themselves. It never works out. So running with sticks is never a good thing, and it's been coming up a lot. A lot of questions that come up recently, especially in the last month, is should I do this? Should I do that? This guy does this. This gal does this. They do this. This goes well for them. Remember, even in my business, when we have testimonials that we put out, even in your business on Google, do you ask the people that are upset with you or that maybe came in once to write a review for you? Probably a bad strategy to do that. You typically ask people who have had good success or have stuck with you for a little bit of time or a long time to write a review for you. Because what's the result going to be with that? 5-star, something nice said. That's great. Same thing with me in my business. I'm not going to ask chiropractors that have worked with me for 3 weeks and then left to write a review. Probably not. It's going to be one sentence. Rico's a nice guy. He looks funny on camera. Did a good job. That's the review, right? 4 out of 5 stars. We don't want that. We put up the reviews that are 5-star and create emotion. And so that when the next people read it, they want to buy our business, buy our services. It's the same thing with this. So you want to create laterals. You want to pick up the sticks or the straws that are going to bring in and attract the people that are part of your practice, that are your ideal client, that are people you enjoy working with. So long story short, if you're looking for a lateral in the practice, start with who do you enjoy serving? Who's your ideal client? You really need to know who your ideal client is in order to make these decisions in your practice. And your ideal clients are already in your practice. And if you're like me, saw 79 people yesterday. Are all 79 of them my ideal client? No. Are most of them my ideal client? Maybe. Are some of them my ideal client? Absolutely. And I need to know who those ideal clients are to target them better. And not just them, people like them in the community so I can attract them. So knowing where your ideal clients come from, what they buy, where they hang out, what their tendencies are, you'll start to see similarities and a lot of overlap. This creates a lot of other laterals that you should be doing as far as business proposition in your community, where you're working with other industries that are not direct competitors, but service the same people as you. People have to eat, people have to wear clothes, people have to exercise, people have to shop, people have to get gas, people have to pay bills, people have to do these things, and you're part of that group. You're as a chiropractor or a service provider, you're part of that group. So you have to look at other things that people buy and work with them that way as well. So study your group, study the people that you work with, choose the people you enjoy working with. And it's as simple as I like Tim and Sarah. I like working with those two. They're a great couple. They have kids. They buy everything that we have in our office. They're all about their health. They're a joyful people to work with. They never say negative things. There's a reason why you like them. Then you try and find more Tims and Sarahs. That's how it goes. And no, not all of their friends are like them, but it's a good place to start. Asking for referrals from them and then building out that way. So getting a list of these people, treating these people really well, that's how you start with this. Then, what are their major problems and how can you solve them? Chiropractic is one thing. Having pains, aches, nervous system issues, tonal issues, these things that you're good at working with, that you've been helping them with. What other problems can you solve for them? Do they lose sleep? Do they have trouble with snoring? Do they try and work out and have foot pain? Do they have trouble with balance? Do they have vision issues? Do they have blood work issues? Do they have what other things do they have in their history that are problems that you could probably solve, right? If they have financial issues and Roth account issues and stock market issues, you can't help them with that. But what are the other problems that you solve? That's where when you start to see a few of these light up, the light bulb will go off and you'll be like, oh man, feet. A lot of people have foot issues, not only just pain, but they're trying to get back into running. They have balance issues. They're firing improperly. They all ask me about footwear. Maybe I should team up with podiatrists. Maybe I should team up with PTs that work with the feet. And what can I do in my practice to solve that issue? It could be something small like orthotics, foot levelers, the orthotic group, these types of things there. Do you have to go buy all their fancy equipment? No, the orthotic group's a great group. You get those free, they send you free molds. You learn how to do it, take their workshop, take their online course, do the mold properly in a seated position, get the patient to do it properly, get the mold, send them off. And now you're creating custom orthotics. This is just an example, by the way. I am not pushing orthotics in any way. That's just one example of a lateral because you did the research. Wow, I could probably do orthotics, right? And then looking into, well, what is orthotics? Does a DC in my state, can I do orthotics? Is it covered by insurance? Up in Alberta, where I was at, it was. People had orthotic coverage in their insurance and they could do it, right? That decreased the barrier, friction to transaction barrier at the beginning when it's like, oh, by the way, you get $400 every 2 years for orthotics. How much are yours, doc? $350. Wow, $450, whatever. It's $50. $400 will you get reimbursed for it. That was an easy sell. Here, you're going to sell orthotics for $400. A little different. It's like, well, I have no insurance. I don't want to buy $400 pieces of plastic. But people don't want to buy $2,000 worth of chiropractic care either. Why did they buy from you? Why did they do your care plan? Why did they listen to your recommendations? Because they valued it. You created a value for them and they valued it. And their emotion said, yes, I need this. And they bought it. So it doesn't matter. So if you are solving issues like for people that walk and run better, then that's what's going to be great for your practice and a good lateral and a good thing to grasp at rather than not. So don't grasp at straws. When you get into a rut, stop and breathe before you react, and then you'll make better decisions. Ask your colleagues, bounce some ideas around from others, and then see what you can do around those things to get better from there on. And I'm always here to reach out to. You can ask me any questions. This is what I love coaching on. You are my ideal client. If you are in a rut, this is how we can get out of the rut together and get you on course for the trajectory that's the right way. Stop chasing shiny things and get back to the basics. Find your ideal client and move forward from there. Solve the problems that they have, and you're off to a running start. Have a great week. Stay well.